Yes, guys, welcome to Chasing Green Arrows. It's Monday, and it's Dean, Jones, and myself talking you through the game week just gone and looking ahead, of course, to game week 7. Dean, how are you, mate? Nice to see
Good,
you.
mate. Yeah, very good, thank you. Obviously a strange weekend in FPL world. How you doing? How you feeling on the back of your wild card?
Oh, I can't. On wildcard, we'll see my team in a minute. That's like 30 points. But I sold 5-6 players that all returned double digits. So it would have been double points, like double the points I got. Anthony Robinson, Watkins, Salah, Jota, Anthony Gordon, Bench Morgan Rogers. Those 6-7 players would have all been in, if I just hadn't touched my team. Why do I bother? Honestly, I've decided I'm just going to play Serie A fantasy and Champions League fantasy this season because I'm doing well in both those leagues, but I'm absolutely tanking in the one that's literally my job. Joy.
It's funny you say that in terms of why bother, because I'm honestly thinking, why bother with a wild card? I'm not bothering. Why don't you leave it? I'm just going to keep leaving it to roll because this is so inconsistent. It is so unpredictable that you might as well, honestly, just stick with a group of good players who will return at some point throughout the season and just accept the bad weeks and wait for the good weeks. That is honestly how I'm starting to look at it. And the last few weeks, I haven't had great weeks, but I've had some fine ones. And because I had two really good ones at the start, I'm doing fine. Doing fine and I'm in a decent position. But I was looking at it, I might wildcard after the international break. We'll see if there are injuries and stuff or what the form and fixtures are looking like. But yeah, it's a very weird one. Triple T, thank you for your fiver in whatever currency that might be. Delap versus Vardy, opinions, please. These are the only two I can afford. I lean towards Vardy, but just because I'm not familiar with that guy in Ipswich. What about Raul Jimenez, mate?
I was going to say, you can get Ndiaye at 5-4, Jimenez at 5-4. Vardy's going to lose his place to Edouard at some point, you'd think. I mean, Delap does look good, to be fair.
He does look good. We're a little late starting today, and that's because I was just literally finishing up my Ranks FC podcast. And the last question actually was from someone about FPL asking about Delap. And I said, look, he's the same price as Raul Jimenez. Now, I don't necessarily know that this continues for Raul Jimenez, but he is a guaranteed starter for Fulham as we move forwards now. Now, the problem is Fulham are playing Man City next. That's I guess, the sticking point when it comes to Raul Jimenez. But he's going to be on penalties. Could get a penalty. City have given up goals against lesser teams so far this season. I think out of the two that you propose, I would go for Delap. But if you were looking for someone else, then I'd be considering Jimenez. But I do think Delap's a decent pick. I think Adam said
fixtures are there for Ipswich as well. They've got some good. They've got a home game against Everton and a home game against Leicester coming up. The next two homes.
But what we've learned from this season is the fixtures don't matter. The fixtures don't matter. They haven't so far. So I kind of don't really care. I mean, I'm slightly put off Jimenez because it's Man City away. Obviously that's ingrained in our head that's too difficult. But Ipswich have scored at Man City this season. Brentford have scored at Man City this season.
Yeah.
Fulham are sixth in the league and playing really, really well. Fulham can go to Man City and score this weekend. I don't think we'll beat Man City, but I think we can score.
Yeah. Do you know what? Let's just get to we're gonna of course review the game we just gone. We're gonna talk Palmer. We're gonna talk Bruno. We'll save a lot of the Bruno chat for Big Man on Wednesday because he wildcarded and kept Bruno in, and then obviously,
mate, I'm sorry, but that is I know he was frustrated and he stuck a finger up on social media and he's fed up. But you sometimes, and you experienced this last season, you can be loyal to a fault. And I'm sorry, but it was a terrible pick. Obviously, you don't expect him to get a red card. And
United aren't doing anything.
But he's a bad pick.
He's been a bad pick all season.
He's been a bad pick all season. And it's just not... It's so against everything. Every other decision he makes in the game is always logical. And having Bruno Fernandes is so illogical at this point and driven by emotion and hope that it just is so in the face of everything he's ever done to play this game. So I'm so surprised.
It's the same as one of the biggest FPL Twitter accounts, Big Man, and then the biggest FPL YouTuber, Let's Talk FPL. Both of them, they're the only two content creators I know that have him. they just insisted on keeping Bruno. And it's because they didn't get anything from him and they thought they're going to sell him. But it is much harder on wildcard to make those decisions, selling players you really like from your actual team, because you feel like you're going to sell them and they're going to punish you straight away. Exactly what I did with Watkins, Salah, Jota. But you have to separate yourself from that. When you wildcard, forget about your old team. This is all about your new one.
Exactly. You've got to forget about
Bruno was
what could have been. But yeah, we will leave that for Wednesday. We'll park it here. But it wasn't a good pick. It is what it is. Let's look at some other things.
Yeah, so that was it. I was going to say to you about because you mentioned Fulham will go to City and score, and Man City have this really annoying thing where they keep low XG against them. And when we look at the XGC chart in the Premier League so far, expected goals conceded, I think Man City are second to Liverpool. Liverpool best, Man City second. It's actually Forest in third. So they'll concede, Fulham will score. But will City score a fair few against Fulham? And is it just a given that Haaland is going to be a game week captain? He's got Fulham at home, while Saka and Havertz have got Southampton at home. Now, we saw against Leicester, they only scored 4, but Arsenal could have had 24. It was ridiculous. If Arsenal go and do the same against Southampton, then surely Saka, Havertz are worth considering. Or is it just, no, Haaland at home against the middle-ranked team always scores goals?
Yeah, I mean, I am genuinely on set and forget now. I'm not going to change my captain all season. Yeah, I can't bother. Just like, it's a waste of time. So it's just another thing I don't have to think about. Like Haaland's run of games, particularly coming up, like Fulham, Wolves, Southampton, Bournemouth, Brighton. Like Geezer could go absolutely crazy in the next few weeks. I know there's a couple of, you've got Champions League and stuff, and you never know what could happen, but barring him actually being a proper injury risk, like he's set and forget for me right now. Arsenal having Southampton at home is definitely interesting. It's not enough for me to take the armband off him, and Saka's like getting decent returns, and obviously his assist levels are good. But Palmer's a better pick than Saka, and honestly, I'm like, part of me is thinking, like, if I was to do a wild card, would I take Saka out and replace him as Palmer as my 10 option, my literal 10 option, but also 10 million option? I think I would.
On wildcard, I probably would as well, but I don't think I'd make that transfer this week.
I wouldn't make that transfer this week, no. But if I was going to wildcard, I would. But I also think that Kai Havertz is a very good pick in FPL.
Highest XG of the weekend, of the game week so far, 1.89 XG Havertz. He is getting chances, and big chances too. I put Havertz in over Watkins, and didn't get any bonus points from Havertz, just a 6, but you take it. But he's a proper number 9 now. There's no doubt about it in my mind. He's a proper goal scorer number 9 now.
Yeah, but you haven't made that decision for 1 week, right? You've now got him in your team, and you've got to trust that over the coming weeks, that does pay off having that transfer. And look, Ollie Watkins is always going to score goals, one of the best strikers in the league. Like you're going to miss goals. Like that's inevitable. You've just got to hope that your pick, and you look at the next couple of games, like there's reason to believe that you could get better points return there. So you have to wait to see exactly which side it comes out on. Like I would, if I'd have wild carded this week, like I vaguely considered, I would have taken Rodgers out of my team because I was like, he's really, really good, but I don't think he's going to score any goals. So then I'd have been fuming that he scored a goal. As it was, because I let it ride, he had to play for me, and I did get the reward. So it's tricky. Jason, a second ago, said, sorry, Casey, I'll come to you in a second. Jason said, trying to get Palmer and Solanke before the price skyrockets is stressing me out.
Let me give an update on price rises on those 2 players, guys. Go on, What was it, Palmer and Solanke?
Yeah, Palmer and Solanke. Check it out. Solanke, I'm glad I got on to a couple of weeks ago. I'm glad to have him. I think that Tottenham coming into a period where he's going to be pretty reliable, to be honest. I think he's going to score a lot of tap-ins, but I'm happy to take tap-ins. They all count the same. And Brighton defence, particularly at the weekend, I think that he could expect joy from.
Not most big chances of any team so far this season. I was looking at some stats today. Spurs. So they've created 26 big chances. I think Chelsea or City are second with 24, but they create more big chances than any other team. and Solanke's the number 9 of a team that with that chance creation and that creativity behind him, like you back him. I think a lot will be going to Solanke, maybe not in 7, but certainly in 8 when they've got a couple of home games. Palmer rose last night. He will probably rise. He will certainly rise again before the end of the game week, but probably not for a few nights. He needs 155,000 more to buy him.
Yeah.
Solanke did also rise last night, but will have a much slower trajectory. So Solanke could rise again before the deadline, but maybe not. So you haven't got to get Solanke in till later this week. If you're going into Palmer, you might want to do it in the next couple of days. Remember, he isn't playing in Europe this week, Palmer.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a little one. Obviously, by the way, everyone, don't forget we have got our members section now. So if you go to the homepage, you can join. There are 2 tiers of membership. One of the tiers allows you to join our WhatsApp group. You also get extra video content, and you can also request videos if you want. We can start to do some subscription-based video content, which we have been dropping in recently. But anyway, in the WhatsApp group, you can join right now if you just sign up, and then we'll need your phone number. One of our members, Casey, has been having a good season. He has 3 Bournemouth players playing tonight, including Evan Nielsen, captain.
Oh my God.
He coming into the weekend, he's like, I'm going to go for it. I fancy Evan Nielsen. I'm going for him captain. I was like, mate, that is brave.
They're going to smash them tonight, Bournemouth. They're going to smash Southampton.
That's what he's convinced by. He's absolutely convinced that Bournemouth smash Southampton.
3-0. 3-0.
And it's going to basically, save his game week if Evan Nielsen could come into the goals.
I need about 10 from Semenyo tonight to get a green arrow.
Oh, at least you've still got someone to play, mate. That's something to be going on right now. I got dug out yesterday when Spurs won 3-0 and Solanke scored. That helped me out massively because of Porro as well. I thought Porro was going to get a goal at one point. I was like, go on, son.
A lot benched Porro, so that's good, man, that you started him. I feel like Big Man might have benched him.
And again, when I was considering a wild card, I was like, I don't know if I really want Porro. And then you keep him, he returns. And you look at it, you're like, why would I take him out? Just leave him. He's always going to get points across the season in a Tottenham team that plays like this. Yes, they'll have some bad games. Yes, there'll be moments when you have to accept that they're not coming. But more times than not, I think he'll get returns. It's just patience, isn't it? Like that's what's really different about this season is that loads of the good players traditionally of this game are not doing well. And so they're all having to chase points and they're having to change their team and play catch up a bit. And so it's having a knock-on effect for everybody else that plays the game, not necessarily less casually, but isn't making a living off of it. Oh, Glenn, you legend. Thanks for becoming a YouTube member. Because you're now looking at teams that are trying to catch up and make up for a few wasted game weeks, basically, because it hasn't gone as you would have expected the season to go so far. But I still think that there is a big argument to just honestly just play the game your own way. A friend of mine, actually, he's in the same league as you. You're in the Snack Media League, aren't you? The mini league.
Mate, I've been asked to join that league because they're like, oh, you write some FPL content. It'd be brilliant to have an FPL expert in there, so everyone can sort of pit themselves against you.
Yeah.
I reluctantly joined because it's like then you're everyone's you're everyone's cup final, and there I am, right at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, well,
it's embarrassing.
I'm 8th in the table, so I'm keeping up. But the guy who probably gave you that job, mate, Christy, he is 12th in the table.
Is he? Oh my God!
And mate, his team this week he got 61 points.
Yeah,
his team he's got Sells in goal.
Oh, same.
His back 3: Konaté, Konza, Saliba. His midfield is Sancho, Mo Salah, Gordon, Eze, McNeil, and he's got Wood and Haaland up front.
What a terrible team.
It's like it's a team that you would never pick.
Yeah,
it's a team
great.
that you would never pick. But he watches game.
Yeah.
He watches a lot of football.
Yeah.
And he's like, I like these players. I'm going to pick them.
You're fair.
And it's working.
Mate, I like that. Do you know what? I'm really annoyed. My first draft that I showed last Monday or Wednesday on this channel included Sancho and McNeil. And then as the week went on, I lost time because I had stuff going on last week. But I kind of just then resorted to lack of prep and going really template and boring. And I'm like, Gianni, go back to the way you used to manage. And I don't know if it was a FOMO thing, a lack of prep, whatever. But I had Sancho and McNeil on my team. Like I had Watkins as a permanent play. Like even on wildcard, I was picking those players, and then I just went bad. But yeah, good to see David has become a YouTube member. Dean,
Yeah,
every
that's
time you do a push, every time you do a proper push, you get a couple of members signed up.
Okay, so join our YouTube, join our YouTube, join our YouTube, join our YouTube. If I say that for 40 minutes, we're going to get loads of people sign up. No, good to have you on board, and I look forward to hopefully interacting. It depends what tier you signed up to. I can't see. But if you sign up to the WhatsApp one, we'll be chatting later on today, I'm sure.
And we'll do exclusive YouTube members videos this week, right? So we're doing, Double Pivot is in as well. Good to see you, Kieran. I make my own decisions. This is the only pod I watch. There you go. Good man.
Love
and
that.
Look, if you want that little bit of less templatey chat, then absolutely watch me and Dean. Dean especially, like he started the season with DCL. That says everything.
I only found out what template was about 3 weeks from the end of last season, so I didn't even know that existed.
I'm playing Rogue now. I'm done. I'm buying Jadon Sancho if I want to buy Jadon Sancho. Like honestly, my YouTube comments after I had Sancho and McNeil on my team are what crap midfield, and I was like, I'd say I'm not influenced by it. I probably was, and I'm ashamed of myself.
Mate. Of course you are, and like I've even had that through this channel, but like. I just don't really care what other people think because other people don't know either. I said to someone the other day who had an absolute stinker in the WhatsApp group, I think it was Abby or someone like that. I was like, look, we're all guessing. Like week to week, we are guessing and predicting who is going to have a good game week. And yes, you're either leaning on statistical analysis or I watch loads and loads of football. So I watch either the full game of every game or long half-hour highlights, and I'm actually seeing things where I'm like, okay, I trust this as a trend now.
Yeah.
And we basically pass that on to you, and you've all seen your own football, and you can decide what you've seen. But copying someone's team or just paying someone to pick your team isn't fun. No. It's not fun. You're getting no enjoyment out of it, especially if you don't get the points. You've got no... you
just got someone to blame.
You've got someone to blame.
A favourite bit.
Unless that's what you get off on in life, then go for it.
But you're right. That's not fun. And games have to be fun. And it blows my mind that so many play this game and actually don't want to play it. They play this game and they want to enter a team and they just want to copy their favourite content. And I always say, like, even when I'm doing well... hasn't been for a while. I make the comment like, please don't blindly just pick who I'm picking. And it makes me laugh. I'll create some really nice YouTube videos all about like buyer's guide and differentials and all that. No one watched them. The only video people want to watch on my channel each week is my team selection. And it's like,
I want to make sure they're not too far away from it, you know. And I've done that before. Like there are probably 2 or 3 YouTube FPL channels that I would ever look at beyond yours and this one. And
good man.
And I'll be totally honest with you. All I really do is fast forward to the end of their video and see what the team.
On the FPL show, this is literally a Premier League, the 1 hour show they used to put out. It's now half an hour. At the start of last season, we got rid of the experts giving their team. And literally, I remember a request from the digital team within like a few episodes was, we need to bring that back. It's our most viewed little clip bit.
It's the
and
bit
people just do the same. Yeah.
It's the bit people watch for. And it's because they want to make sure they're not too far away from what is regarded to be a good team. They want to just check like what your transfer has been, or, you know, it's just you don't want to be too far away from everybody else. You want to be different, but you don't want to be too different. It's like real life, really. You don't want to be weird. But in FPL this season, I think you're getting rewards for being a bit weird. And I think that the norm is not great and not a great way to be viewed.
Yeah, exactly. No, I hear that. And do you know what? I'm so happy for those that went with a different team that are getting big points. Like genuinely, it's not nice having red arrows and being at my rank. But at the same time, I look at other people's teams like yours, but others, and I go, that's wicked. Like you're playing your own game and you're being rewarded. So I'm completely there for it. So well played, guys. Bill says, watching Gianni's videos are fun, especially letting him know when you disagree on why. Lol. All good natured, not nasty or critical. There you go, Bill. Thank you, mate. As a member, by the way, guys, we'll always be responding and bringing up your comments. So thank you, Bill. Good
Absolutely.
to see. And FPL Freddie's in the chat as well. Don't go template. I have most game weeks and I'm 4.2 million. There you go, Freddie. Freddie's in my WhatsApp group. And actually, I think Freddie is a Southampton fan. So, Freddie, let me know your prediction tonight. But everyone, guys, get in the chat your prediction tonight. We'll bring some up on screen. We want to see in the chat like Bournemouth 3, Southampton 0 is my suggestion. But, get your predictions in.
Yeah, absolutely. Colm is going to go with a new YouTube channel called How Not to Play FPL, currently 4.7 million. Yeah, don't worry. There's loads of time to turn this around. A few predictions coming in. Dan says 2-0 Bournemouth. Luke says 3-1 Bournemouth. Getty says 2-1. That game not too far away now. Yeah, so that will be an interesting one to get stuck into straight on the back of this. Are we doing our teams today? Are we doing bonus beasts? What would you want to do, mate?
Yeah, both those things. So, Dean, have you tweeted? Got a reminder from our producer to tweet. Both of us forgot.
Yeah, that's no good. We're never going to get new viewers if we don't tweet. No, I haven't, because I was doing the podcast. It's actually the first time this season, I think. I've forgotten.
I've got no excuse. I was here early and still didn't tweet. So, yeah.
Everyone else tweet as well. Go and get us loads of new listeners.
Yeah, there we go. Glenn and Gary, welcome just joining in. Glenn says 2-2. There we go. Bobby reckons 3-0 Semenyo hat-trick, please God. I don't think I'm going to watch tonight. I'm going to have a night off from football because it's Champions League week. I know I'm going to be watching games Tuesday, Wednesday. There's no Champions League Thursday though, right? Or is there? Is it just back to the normal schedule again?
That was only a 1 week thing.
Thank God. I like Thursdays off because I don't watch Europa. So even when Chelsea are in it, I don't until the knockouts.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Okay, good. So Tuesday, Wednesday this week. Well, I look forward to doing my Champions League team. Look, we'll go through some bonus beasts and then we'll see our teams and give our early thoughts in terms of transfers too. So look, let's have a look at a couple of bonus beasts from the weekend just gone. Lovely stuff. Good to see. I think Paul is in the chat as well. Another channel member. You guys are signing up all over the place, which is great. What we might be able to do, let me just ask our producer. I'm just going to make a comment to him in the private chat, see if we might be able to give away 5 free memberships tonight, but we'll do that if we get a certain amount of subscribers. So we might say, look, if 10 of you hit the subscribe button now, we'll give away 5 channel memberships. I might see if we were able to do that. If not, then maybe we'll do it another show. But look, bonus beasts, weekend just gone. Kulusevski's got this new role at Spurs. He's playing the front 3, and then he plays Kulu in like a middle 3, but sort of advanced. So Kulu is in a middle 3 with like Bentancur and Maddison. That is an attacking midfield 3. And it's working for them at the moment. You've got Werner on the left or Brennan on the right, and then Solanke number 9. And really, even between Brennan and Solanke there, number 21, Kulu's average position was fantastic. He got loads of chances. 9 key passes is really good. 59 touches is about normal for him when he gets 90. But then his XG and his XA was really high as well. And obviously, he gets his goal. Brennan Johnson is arguably the better option in similar price point, perhaps more goals. But Kulu's creative numbers are really good as well.
They are, mate. Yeah, he's playing really well, and I think he's really helping the rhythm and the system that Ange is trying to build towards here. Interesting that he got so many points this week, but Postecoglou is absolutely loving him at the moment, so that is a big positive. Obviously, Brennan Johnson's the kind of like standout surprise guy from Tottenham because of the output that's suddenly coming out. I don't know. What would you say if you were to weigh up those two things? You've got Kulusevski here who's shown himself to be a bonus beast and probably more chance of him being consistent with that. But you've got Brennan Johnson who is finishing every chance that comes his way.
It's so difficult. Like I was comparing them both earlier, thinking I still don't know the better option. I guess with Brennan, I always know I'm going to get an early sub because they've got a lot of white, especially when Odeberg and Son are back fit as well. With Kulu, like we saw against United, he can get 90. Brennan didn't, Kulu did. But in his 60, 70 minutes, at the moment, Brennan's numbers are better because he is direct and he's shooting.
He really is, yeah. He really is. But yeah, Kulu is on fire at the moment for Tottenham. Will they be consistent? Who knows? But that was a massive step forward for them at the weekend, a brilliant performance.
Yeah, and if you can't easily get to Solanke and you want to cover the Spurs midfield, then again, you look at the fixtures, Brighton, West Ham, Palace, Villa, Ipswich, like it's a good run for Spurs. There's a lot to like about that Tottenham team in attack, especially when I tell you all that in terms of shot volume and big chances, Spurs have had more big chances than any other team in the Premier League this season. That is remarkable. Like, we'd all think City, Arsenal, Liverpool. No, Spurs. Spurs have had 26, 27 big chances. So I like them, and they're cheap. Like, Kulu and Brennan are both just a little bit more than 6 million. That is cheap, cheap, cheap. Maddison's around 7.5 as well. What do you make of Mads? Because he's playing, because of Kulu in there next to him, he can't be an out-and-out number 10, and he has to play a little bit deeper, doesn't he?
He's loving it. He's loving playing deeper.
And
this is the FPL conundrum with Madders, is that you're seeing him connect the bits and pieces a bit further back. And
assist in the assist.
We want to see that cut out. But he still is a driving force. I said on Friday's show here that I'd spoken to someone at Tottenham, and they're convinced this is going to be the best season of his career.
Really, yeah.
They think he's just hitting different levels. Obviously, like, there's been that last 2 seasons, he's had that drop off towards the back end of the season, and they're desperately trying to avoid that. They're desperately trying to make sure they manage his minutes and they check when he's going into the red zone so that he doesn't pick up any injuries, because he's become so crucial so far. So I do think Maddison is an interesting pick. I think there are probably players I would pick as ahead of him still at that price point.
Yeah.
But Maddison's, he's having a really, really good season.
Yeah, like, he's competing Maddison, who, like saying, and Burmo price point 7.5.
That's the thing. I'd rather get Burmo. I'd rather have Burmo. Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's move on to our next one. I don't think it is Burmo, although I'm pretty sure he would have got 3 bonus as well. So maybe we should also talk about Burmo. I can't remember if I shortlisted Burmo. No, that was it. Delap. And we spoke earlier about Delap. Question about a super chat come in. His numbers were really good. And again, he does sometimes get hooked early, but he got 89 minutes against Villa. He scored 2 goals from 0.57 XG. But outside of that, he does very little. Like, literally 4 passes. He tried 8 and he 4 accurate passes, 22 touches in the entire game. He had 1 dribble. Like, all the BPS stats are rubbish for him. But as a forward, if you score goals, you'll get bonus points.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? He is a good pick, though. I do like the side. He's obviously got good pedigree as well, in the way that he's come up through the youth systems. Was highly regarded as well at City, so he was a good pickup for Ipswich. And he's a really good player, and he will finish chances. So, if you've got room at that price point, as I say earlier, I think if I was keeping him long term, I'd still probably go for Raul Jimenez at the moment over him. But there's not a lot in it.
Yeah, no, I like that. Let's talk a bit about Mbermo then. He's not in your team yet. He's someone that if you had wildcarded, you'd have put in.
He was 100% in my wildcard, yeah.
You'll move to him though, will you? Because Brentford's fixtures are good. Like, he's playing as a striker. 7.4 million mid, I think he is, or 7.1.
Yeah, I could get to him because I can take Eze out and go to Mbermo, I think. Let me just check if I can definitely still do that. I can't know, he's 7.4. I actually can't. I can't get from Eze to Mbermo anymore. No, they've both gone in such opposite directions so far that I can't actually make that switch. So I can't actually do that, and I'm not going to take a hit for it, I don't think. That's a bit annoying. But Mbermo having Wolves, I just said in the chat to someone to keep Shard for this week, even though he's taken a drop, because it's a good fixture for Brentford. I fully expect them to win that game. And I think that these two could both come into the goals. And then they've got Man United away, another easy fixture after that. So, yeah, an interesting one. We have also obviously got an international break coming up soon. So.
Another one. Christ, 3 games and then a break. 3 games break. And there's another one in, I think, November.
This is it. And it was actually one of the things that really put me off doing my wildcard last week. Yeah, I was like, I might as well leave it because we're going into... I don't know if this changes my... ceiling on points enough, and definitely wouldn't have. I think I'd have ended up with 2 more points if I'd have wildcarded. And the international break, who knows what it will throw up for me. But and Mbermo is definitely a player you should be getting in any time you can.
Another player that everyone went to on wildcard was Saka. We've got a graphic here up next. This is slightly out of date now because the bonus point system has changed for Saka. He was tied on 3 bonus with Martinelli at 39. He's now moved down to 37 BPS, which only gets him 1 bonus. So he's gone from 3 to 1. But this is a great graphic from FPL Cafe, I think that is. And the numbers are insane. Like, this is a player who was in a team that scored 4 goals perhaps should have got the assist, but wasn't given an attack in return. No goal, no assist, and still gets bonus points because the underlyings, big chances created. He got 12 BPS, key passes, 8 BPS, dribbles, 8, successful tackles even. He's working back, the shots on target, the fouls won, all of that. And you compare that to Martinelli. Martinelli got 27 of his 39 just from goals and assists. All that other stuff, the dribbles, the key passes, the chances creation, it's just head and shoulders. Like Saka is so far clear. And that's what made him a really good captaincy pick. An unlucky big man because he backed against Haaland. And it was a good call, that, and it kind of backfired for him. Like Saka, now pretty much produced the same points as Haaland, give or take. So yeah, really interesting to see how much of a bully and Saka can be and how on form he is.
Yeah, definitely was. What do you make of Martinelli? I mean, I
literally called this. He was another one. I said, can we go with Martinelli? And I was going to go Martinelli and Havertz instead of Saka.
I just didn't see this coming.
Like Diaz.
Martinelli hadn't scored for so long, and I was like, I'm not picking. I'm not telling anyone to pick Martinelli because I'm not sure what we're getting from him. Obviously, he scored. I mean, it's not a typical Martinelli goal, I wouldn't say, in the way that he's done it. But he's got a goal now, which I think is important for him. I just don't know. He obviously has been like always in that starting lineup pretty much, but how are they going to accommodate Trossard once everybody's coming back in now? Because Trossard is very difficult to leave out.
Trossard has got his shooting boots on. Like Martinelli, you're right. It was a scruffy sort of miss kick, and it wasn't a traditional Martinelli goal. And his shooting boots haven't been on for a while. And Trossard is very cool, calm in front of goal, and arguably the more efficient finisher. And when they're both fit, and when Odegaard's back fit, we will see Martinelli and Trossard sharing minutes on the left-hand side massively. So it's risky picking either. And Odegaard will probably be back after the international break, or very close to it.
Won't be too far away. Yeah, probably not straight away, but shouldn't be too far away. I should probably check that out, actually, how far away he seems to be. But yeah, there's a lot of selection dilemmas coming up for Arsenal in a good way, but there's going to be some rotation going on. Marino's coming back into the fold now as well. So Waneri came in the other day again, and Arsenal fans love him and want to see more of him. I still think you're only going to see little cameos off the bench for now in the league, and you'll see a bit more in the cup. ISG says Trossard will have the cup games. He's not happy enough with that. Trossard is absolutely adamant that he deserves to be in this team, and he is a very angry, stubborn man, Leandro Trossard, and he still doesn't say, you barely see him smile. If he scores a goal, he ain't smiling. He's not going to smile until he's like the new Erling Haaland or something. But yeah, he won't accept just playing in cup games, I can assure you.
For the breaking news, guys, breaking news. For the first time ever, Chasing Green Arrows are going to gift 5 memberships. You'll get basic tier stuff, but that means you'll get all the extra videos. We're going to gift 5, but there's one condition, Dean. This isn't asking much. We're going to set ourselves big targets in the future, but because it's the first time, we're just going to ask for 20 of you to hit that subscribe button. If 20 of you hit the subscribe button, as soon as that happens, we'll give away 5 memberships. Now, loads of you already will be subscribed, and there's not much you can do. But as soon as we see 20 of the 265 watching have hit the button, we'll gift, and it will go to random people in the chat. So again, activity in the chat is good. That we might not get it for 5 minutes, we might not get it for half an hour, we might not get it at all. But hopefully we're doing this in the next 5-10 minutes. So guys, please do hit that subscribe button. We stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. We are criminally overlooked in terms of subs, and we don't ask for much. This is the first time we've even this season had memberships. We would love to bring you guys on board. So just check, because you'll think you're subscribed and you're actually not. Just check, because I guarantee 100 people watching right now won't be subscribed.
Yeah,
so please hit the button.
Someone the other day messaged me and was like, why do you not have more subscribers? I was like, I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. We're trying our best out here, giving out some good content, doing our best. But yeah, if you guys could help us to grow, then we are definitely going to reward you. And we hope to do more of that. So yeah, if you're not subscribed, definitely give that a go now. And the producer will be keeping an eye on it to see if we hit the magic number. So go. Even if you've already done it, go and quickly set up a burner account and just use that. I don't care. What do you want to do next month?
Oh, should we have a look at our teams? Come on, let's start with I don't know, let's see both our teams. I mean, you had a reasonable week.
Yeah. I did all right in the end. I thought I got to 50 points, and because of Saka's deleted points, I ended up just at 48, which was annoying because my aim is to just always 50 points is always the marker for me. You know, if you get above 50, then you had a reasonable week and you shouldn't have too much of a drop off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Raya was my transfer in for this week. Spent a little time sweating on whether I was going to get anything out of him, and he gets 1 point anyway. Like, what is that all about? 1 point at home to Leicester.
They so should have kept a clean sheet. Leicester had an XG of 0.37, I think it was. James Justin, have you heard the James Justin story?
No.
So James Justin is probably the best Premier League footballer in terms of FPL manager, in terms of rank history. He's got top 10k finishes. He takes FPL so seriously.
All right.
James Justin definitely watches content creators. He's got a template team, usually. He wildcarded game week 6. Like, he is proper into FPL. He benched himself against Arsenal. He's always got himself in his team. And he wildcarded in double Arsenal defence.
No way.
And he goes and scores 2 goals, wiping out the Arsenal double clean sheet. And he's got all these points. He's got like 15 points on his bench. That is unbelievable.
No
James
way.
Justin, that is hilarious that he did that.
That is amazing. Fair play to him. Imagine he missed the shot on purpose just to make sure he kept his clean sheet.
I messaged Christy that this morning because I was like, this could be a story in itself.
That's a great story. That is a good story.
Yeah, I don't know if he's used it or not. But
I imagine he earned more money though by scoring a goal at the Emirates. I imagine he earned a few quid for that. So probably
decent second goal as well, wasn't it?
Great little strike. I imagine he's got over the heartache. But yeah, so my team. Yeah, it did all right.
Salah with 10 points. I mean, if you watch the game, like Salah, like he played badly, but there's always routes to points for him. He missed an open goal. He should have was it Curtis Jones through for a really easy assist late on the counter attack, and then he gets his penalty. Like, Salah just finds routes to points. So you see this Salah 10, and you're like, that's massive this week.
Exactly. Like, how is he my biggest points returner this week? Like, It's ridiculous. Like, he hasn't had a good game at all.
The worst performer, probably.
Yeah, I'd actually stopped watching the Liverpool game. I was like, oh, he's not going to score. We were going out. Dylan had football, but I was like, I didn't even see it for a bit. And I checked the score later. It's like Salah pen. I was like, get in there. And again, like, that's why you just have these premium picks, because they just return points in FPL, right? But there you go. Mark says I'm subscribed but not a member, ineligible for gifts.
Oh, CH has given some instructions. You need to turn your gifting on. And you click the join button, then click the 3 dots at the top, and then gift settings, and then you can toggle them on. So you have to turn your gift settings on. But we have only had 7 of you subscribe. Now we need another 13. And I know we can get there, because if 7 of you did it just like that, we've still got 20 minutes to get 13. Guys, hit that subscribe button and you will be eligible. You've got to be subscribed to win. One of 200 odd people in here, 5 of you, sorry, are going to win a membership by the end of the show.
Let's hope so. But yeah,
mate, your bench, can I just say, your bench is obviously shocking, but it doesn't need to be good. You never need your bench. It's so good. Like, I don't remember you ever having one of your players not start.
No, it's Rico Lewis.
Rico Lewis maybe a couple of weeks. But
yeah, that was the one. That's the only one.
You don't have any money on your bench because so many.
Like, nothing there, mate.
Yeah, it's great because all your money's in your 11 and it's getting points.
It's a completely dead bench. Like, it's so irrelevant to me. Like, Barco might stay in for the season. He's having a great time, I think. He's doing exactly what I want of him. He's not dropping in value.
Muscara too.
Muscara, Merginos end the season with those 2. But yeah, it's just all about this 11, and it's barely changed for me since the first week of the season. It's the same 11, and I'm just pretty much sticking out there. I was on Popes, and last week I've switched to Raya because I was like, no, I quite fancy a little upgrade there, and I've made a little bit of money out of the team. Solanke's been brought in instead of Isak.
Like that.
I think Eze was somebody else, but I can't remember who that was.
So Eze, is he a transfer out for you? Because I feel like Palace are so dysfunctional at the moment. I would sell Eze in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I don't like him.
You go to Brennan Johnson, you know?
That's the thing. Who have Palace got next? I can't even remember.
It's not a great run for Palace now. I feel like it's not the best run of fixtures.
I got Liverpool at home. The problem is he could score in that game. In Forest away, yeah.
He could score in any game because he's a baller, but Palace are rubbish.
But yeah, there's no flow to it or reasoning as to why I would keep Eze at this point.
What's your take on the Chelsea mids? Sancho, Madueke, could you go to one of them? Like, I don't hate those options now.
I wonder if Madueke might be left out soon for Neto.
He is coming on every time for him.
He's coming on every time for him. And Madueke has deserved his spot up till now. At the weekend, you could put up an argument he wasn't as good as the others. And Neto's straight on for him. Neto's a better player than Madueke.
Yeah.
I would probably steer clear of touching Madueke. So I would have to go to Jadon Sancho.
I mean, Mudrik's not taking Sancho's spot anytime soon.
No, Sancho for now looks at least nailed on. So I think that for a home fixture, particularly next again for Chelsea, Jadon Sancho could be a good pick, but he's not going to score massive points, is he?
No, he's more of an assister than a goal threat.
He did score at the weekend, but it was obviously disallowed. But
and he got 2 assists, Sancho. And he got assists the game before and the game before. Like, he is feeding Jackson and Palmer well.
Yeah, the good thing is him and Palmer already have an understanding, and like you see it on Palmer's goal for the 4th, where he makes that really fast run, and Sancho lays him in perfectly. I was like, they have got an understanding there. So Maresca and Sancho have got an understanding. Sancho and Palmer have got an understanding.
Yeah.
It's like, that makes Sancho actually a really important guy in this team right now.
Agreed. I actually think it was a really shrewd bit of business. I know often a lot of us laughed at the transfer.
Yeah,
maybe myself included.
At the time, but
it makes sense. I mean, you look at Mudryk as the backup because you think Maresca's come out and said Pedro Neto is going to be the option of Madueke on the right. And he said, I've got 2 players in every position. And he named it. And he said he didn't mention Pedro Neto on the left. He can play on the left, but it's going to be him or Madueke. And Sancho feels nailed. You'll get early subs, but every game now, Sancho's getting slightly more and more minutes. And he's building up his fitness. Because remember, this is a guy that hasn't played much football. He didn't play in the summer. He hasn't had a huge pre-season. So Sancho feels nailed in the Premier League 11. But like a lot of wide forwards in this league, and I count the Liverpool lads like Luis Diaz or Brennan Johnson, you're not going to get 90, but you don't have to. When they're only 6.5 million or their output's as good as it has been, you can get your 70, 80 minutes off players that are in teams shooting lots and scoring lots of goals.
Ricardo says, not available in your country. That doesn't sound good, mate. Maybe CH will be able to advise you. He seems to know a lot. Let us know where you are and why that might be the case.
Where do you reckon Ricardo's from his surname? Brazil? Should we go?
Andrade sounds Brazil to me. Yeah, sounds Brazil to me. There's a journalist of that name, Bruno Andrade. Or how do you pronounce it? Andrade or Andrade? I'm not sure. Sorry, mate. But yeah, there's a Brazilian journalist that I've spoken to before with that name. So I'm going to guess that that's where he's from. Doesn't necessarily mean that he's there.
Cabo Verde.
Wow.
Where's that? Is that a Caribbean island?
I have no idea. Should have a look.
Cabo Verde.
I wonder if it's closer to you or me. What do you reckon?
You. Oh, it's beautiful.
I don't think it is.
It's actually Africa.
It's in Africa. It's nowhere near either of us, really.
It's off the coast of Gambia.
Wow. So I've learned something new here. I've never heard of this place.
When you look at it on the map, it's like, okay, that is literally. There's nowhere anywhere. There's no other islands like in terms that you would know. That's the biggest one of that little group.
Andrade is Portuguese in origin. That's what they're saying.
We said Brazil,
fair enough. Wow, we really have got people watching the show from everywhere. Thanks everyone for tuning in all over the world. They do have internet in other places across the world, it turns out.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Right in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean there. Near Boa Vista. What's that? Ia Brava. What a place to be.
It looks amazing on Google Images.
It looks so cool. But I'm a bit gutted for you. You can't get on the YouTube to join the channel. So we'll try to help you fix that, mate. But thanks for tuning in to Chasing Green Arrows. How on earth did you manage to come across this? Probably through Gianni, I imagine. But let us know your origin stories for Chasing Green Arrows.
Guys, let us know where in the world you are. If anyone can beat Cabo Verde, I'm really keen to know. If you can name a country that Dean and I can't even put on a map, that'd be really cool. So give us your countries in the chat where you're watching from.
Yeah, exactly that. Evercarn says, Dean, you've already forgotten you had Morgan Gibbs-White. Oh, I did. He got me a goal as well. Or
Did he?
Yeah, he got me a goal. Yeah, he got me a goal. And I got rid of him, and then he got sent off. So that was good. Yeah, thanks, Morgan Gibbs White. I might be back to you later on in the season, mate.
I can. Marcelo and my dad Angelo watching two Italians watching in Poland. My dad is also called Angelo. There we go.
There you go.
We can put every one of these on a map, guys. Middlesbrough, Algeria, Sweden, Nepal. So we're still waiting for Antarctic. Geddy, are you really in the Antarctic?
He's winding us up. He is not in the Antarctic.
Land of the saunas. Where's that? Sokan. What's Land of the saunas? Oh, here we go. Timor, Leste, Palau, Micronesia, Antigua, and Barbuda. That's Caribbean, isn't it?
I don't know. My geography is terrible. The only way I know anything about geography is through football. Like, I know all the flags. Any team that's like at some point had a good result in international football, I'm onto it. But that's the only way I know about anything. Looks like I thought you meant name some countries you wouldn't know. Okay.
Timor in Indonesia.
Finland.
Okay.
Well, we've gone way off piece here. But,
yeah. Should we see my team? Let's see my miserable points total of 30 odd. It's so bad. I can't.
31 on a wild card, mate.
I'm annoyed that I went so template. It's not me, and I don't. I've got various reasons why I did, and I don't like any of them. So I wish I'd stuck to my guns early in the week. I felt out my depth last week a bit with wildcard because I was busy and I had stuff going on where I neglected FPL, and then I was like, oh, I've got a resort to type on the deadline, and it was a rush decision, and I sold. Well, sorry, that's not my team. Hang on. Oh no, it is. It's just got Jota instead of Diaz. So I had Diaz for Jota got loads of points, and Jota did get the point.
Oh, sorry, that should be Diaz. Yeah.
But my last decision came down to start Watkins or Rodgers, have Watkins and Rodgers, or have DCL and Diaz, and that was a big swing. Because Rodgers and Watkins obviously both got points. But the good news is I'm well set moving forward. I think I am. I'm happy with my 11. I've got 2 transfers in the bank. If I hear Diaz isn't starting, I might just buy Ollie Watkins back, go DCL to Watkins, Diaz down to like a Dibbling or a 5.4 under mid, and then start. And that'll be my 2 transfers. Like I might just nip it in the bud and go, I got it wrong on Watkins. I should have owned him, and I'm going to bring him back. But let's see. We'll know if Diaz is starting because Liverpool the early kickoff, and Liverpool are probably the leakiest team in the league in terms of we get accurate team info pretty often on Liverpool.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll stick with Diaz if he starts and sell him if he doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just realised that Cabo Verde is just Cape Verde, so I have heard of it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we just. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ricardo, but is it actually Cape Verde? Because if it has, then of course I've heard of it, and I apologise for saying I haven't heard of it.
We've just gifted 5 memberships. 5 people in the chat: Geddy in Antarctic, Brian, Luke, Colm, and Gunner24. So loads of our regulars have just won a membership.
Welcome, and congratulations to all of you. That was cool.
Yeah,
that was cool.
So does that must mean we hit 20 subs?
Yeah. Oh, we've just been extra generous, but I'm assuming we've done it.
Do you know what? We might actually be able to give away another 5 because you get 10 a month and it's the last day of the month.
What?
Yeah. Let me just check with our producer if we have another 5 available. It will tell you, Mr. Producer, when you click the money button. If it gives you 5 more for free, we should, because it costs us nothing. And it's good because people can sample those extra vids and then see if they want to be a member.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, let's see if we can do that. But thank you for anyone that has
you've got to be subscribed.
Yeah, thanks to anyone that has subscribed today. And if you haven't subscribed, if you just joined us, please do subscribe to Chasing Green Arrows. Do give us a like as well. And we have a members area now.
No,
you can join.
It's the 1st of October in India.
Oh no!
So we've actually used 5 of our 10 this month already now for October. Mr. Producer, is our YouTube set to India though? Or is it set to Canada?
No.
If it's set to Canada, we've got loads of time.
Well, it's already the 1st of October. What's the time?
In India?
Yeah.
It's 8
literally 20 minutes into October.
That is
It's
hilarious.
20 past midnight.
That is so good. Well, we'll know what our YouTube's set to if it's India or Canada if it says you've got Oh no, it's going to say you've got 5 remaining anyway. We're just not going to know if that's 5 remaining in September or 5 remaining in October. I kind of don't want to give away all 10 of our October allowance on day one.
That's probably not great. We want to have some. We want to have some push for later on in the month. Big Tip says, "Hold on, you guys are Indians." Yeah, we are. The internet can be deceiving.
Yeah, I did joke that you were late today because you were too busy doing your spray tan. I put it in the chat. I don't think you saw.
I mean, I've got to tell. I tell you what, G, the weather is in San Diego is amazing. It's amazing at the moment. It's like
we're about to enter 6 months of dark, wet, windy weather here as well, mate.
It's just picked up. We're getting another summer push here for another month. It's up to about 22, 23, and we're getting a bit of a heat wave at the weekend. Yes, the weekend, mate, was unbelievable. We're at the beach. We're outside and like sitting on patios. My friends are all sending me a picture of them in the rain. Dean, why do you have the light on?
Why not?
Well, if I didn't, it would be really dark in here. I've got a lamp here. I've got like one of the actual, like, whatever they call them. What do they call them? The circular lights. Well, I forgot what they're called. Got a lamp on over there.
Ring light.
And I've got this ceiling light on too. I've got 4 lights on right now. There's not actually much natural light coming in because the sun is around the other side of the house right now. So it would just look really rubbish if I didn't have lights on, to be honest with you, mate. That's why. Now, this, believe it or not, is an FPL channel.
Yes. Yeah, and we've got loads to talk about. Let's get your questions in, guys.
Let's go for the last 5 minutes and talk some FPL.
Luke won a channel membership. He said he paid €30 to go to a zoo with my school, and we were writing notes for an hour. I think that's why he was late today. Oh, well, Luke, you did win a channel membership, so you can't complain.
Congrats, man.
Get your questions in.
Casey says, Dean, do you go to any MLS games? I've been to loads in the past. I haven't been to any since I got here, mainly because the nearest team would be LAFC, and I just haven't been up to LA since I got here. But I am going to go to one of their games soon. And in San Diego, we're getting our own MLS team for next season. So it launches in February. There's already loads of merch on sale, which I'm tempted by every day. But they've only got 4 players currently. They've just started
the kit
buying
Adidas or Nike?
They're all Adidas, yeah. Every kit out here is Adidas. But yeah, so I will be getting to loads more MLS games. Deb says, is João Pedro to the Lat a good transfer?
Yes. Because of the injury, we don't know when he's going to be back, and I don't think we get told much on Brighton team news. It looks like he was on crutches. So yeah, good question. Play DCL or Rodgers? What do you reckon, Dean?
I would play DCL for this game week. Actually,
that's what I did this game week. It didn't bloody work, did it?
You have to be patient with DCL, mate. He scores once every 3 weeks, and you have.
Oh, good. Well, I'll drop Rodgers again for another 7 points.
There you go. Guaranteed to score this week. Guaranteed to score.
Big regrets on wildcard for me are not going Ollie Watkins. Like, I do think Ollie Watkins is one of the 3 premiums you should own in your team. I think we should all have him. He's just so obvious.
I don't have any regrets because I didn't use it. That is a good decision. By the way, CH says, Dean, have you been to Mexico yet? No, I will be going to Tijuana soon. It's literally 20 minutes away.
You walk there?
It will take a while, but pretty good. Ewan says, Salah to Palmer gives me funds to do João Pedro to Solanke. Free transfers, points chasing, or no-brainer? I quite like it, to be honest.
I do like Palmer if you can get to him easily and you're not selling Saka. I think you could probably sell Mo Salah, but...
Look, you're going to miss some points. Like, Salah's going to obviously get returns pretty much every game week. But he's more expensive. He's not playing very well, so he's not great to watch. And Palmer, there's no stopping him from doing what he did at the weekend, again, at some other point, and he's got a reasonably good fixture coming up.
Savio, it doesn't really work like that with Pep. You can't go, he's been benched, therefore he starts the next week. You just don't know. But I do think when Savio came on, they looked better, and I do think he'll start this week.
Yeah. Sack off Eze. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to sack off Eze, Dan, but you know that the second we'll do that, he's going to get his goal. So just be prepared to miss out on the 6 point.
On a 7 wild card, I'd go Gvardiol because Saliba has a tough run of games. He's got a good 7 fixture, and then 8, 9, 10 are tough. And Gvardiol... he's so good. Like, he's a real goal threat. And we saw that at the end of last season when he's playing the same role again, high on the left, twinkle toes for a big man. I like Gvardiol.
Yeah, what are you doing? Wildcard 7 rather than wildcard 6.
Very few changes.
I also wouldn't wildcard in 7 to be honest with you, because it's going into an international break, and I really don't think you should be doing that. I would wait.
I'd wait till 8 is a better wild card.
8
during
is a
the break,
much
and
better
then
wild card. So.
you'll get injuries in the break, and then Arsenal enter their run of tough games, so you don't need triple Arsenal. Havertz over Saka. I don't mind that. They're very similar. They're very similar.
I think that there'd be a similar points return there because you're getting goals on one side rather than assists. Brian, I have Kai. What do you think about Diaz to Trossard and Saka to Palmer? Trossard, you might not get the game. Trossard definitely deserves the games. We just don't know if we're going to get them, so I'd just be a bit sceptical of that.
You'll get some early subs maybe with Trossard, but he's starting over Jesus at the minute, so it's almost like Trossard, Havertz are kind of like a front two at the minute.
Absolutely, yeah.
Would you start this week out Mikolenko, Smith Rowe, or Wood? I mean, I can't remember fixtures off the top of my head, but I usually back the attackers. Wildcard 12 is a good time to wildcard. Sally, I like that.
Right, was that the last one? Maybe.
No, nice.
Yeah, might be. Thanks, everyone. That was fun.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you guys for always supporting with your comments, with your likes and your subscribes. Appreciate you as always. We're going to be back for another show with Big Man on Wednesday. That's going to be fun, looking at both of our wildcards and talking a little bit FPL therapy, I reckon. And then Dean and I are going to be back on Friday with our team selection video for game Week 7, where no doubt we'll both be making transfers and we'll want your takes too. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button to know when we're coming next on with the notification bell. But I think off the top of my head, it'll be Wednesday lunchtime, maybe 1 p.m. UK, and then a similar time on the Friday. So this is our evening stream today, UK time, and now we've got 2 daytime streams coming up on Wednesday and Friday. Guys, for now, we will say goodbye for one last time. Thank you to all of our chasers. Thank you to all of our channel members and mods. Dean, thank you to you. Plans for the rest of the day?
The rest of the day is going to be a lot of writing for Give Me Sport, and then I'm definitely going to find an excuse to get outside. Actually, my little boy's got football training later, so that'll be good. I can get outside for that. That'll be fun.
Is he much better than like the standard there compared to England?
Yeah,
in his team,
the league he's in, every team seems to have like one good player, and it's
like Miami.
And it's just like MLS basically. And it's like, how many goals will that player score? So like 1 week he scores, like until last week, nobody else on his team had actually scored a goal. They had they had 11 goals and he'd scored all 11. So it's a bit it's a bit lopsided. But then this week, one of the other players who is actually pretty good, he was the guy that came up with the hat trick this week, and Dylan didn't score, so he's finally getting a helping hand. But yeah, for right now at like the age of 6 or 7, it's the introduction to soccer for a lot of kids here, whereas like in England you're typically already a year or 2 down the line, so he's just a bit ahead.
Yeah, okay, I like.
He's like at the weekend they went 2-1 down. So he had a shot from kickoff and hit the bar. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, why not? I was like, stop it. Stop it.
I like that. All the other kids are like, that English kid. So, yeah,
I don't know if they like him or not. I'm trying to work it
out. Nice. Guys, enjoy the football tonight if you're watching Bournemouth. It is Bournemouth 0, Southampton 0. It's just started, but we will say goodbye. Thank you for watching, guys. He's been Dean, I've been Janny. You've been the awesome chasers. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.